With 1 week down and one to go, athletes from around the world have been breaking records and bearing witness to their faith at the Winter Olympics in Milan. So far, Norway and Italy are tied for the most medals, with Norway in the lead for the most gold. The U.S. falls in third place at 14 medals, France and Germany trailing not far behind. With just over a week left and 48 of the 116 events completed, it's still yet to be determined which country comes out on top. Joining us for more is Doug Eldridge, founder of DLE Agency. Doug, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So lots of people have been watching the Olympics. What do you think of how Italy has been hosting the games, and how are things looking for Team USA?
Well, I think Italy's been a fantastic host on every front. I mean, first of all, they place such a focus on sustainability, and by that I mean using pre-existing buildings. And you can look to past Olympics as really a marker. London leveled East London prior to the games and used it and put up new apartment buildings for athlete housing, and afterwards converted it to first-time apartment owners or renters. By contrast, Rio, just a couple of years later, built all these structures overlooking the favelas, which was the slums of Rio. And in the months following the games, they were in just disrepair. So the fact that Italy's done that is fantastic. But more on the faith side, you can go just 2 years ago. The opening ceremony for the Paris Games, they made a mockery of the Last Supper, right, which was largely derided and jeered, and for good reason. Demonstrably Parisian, but artistic, foot afoul. By contrast, when you go to a country that's 70 plus Catholic, I think faith has been the common thread woven throughout. It's been indicative not just of the presentation, but the athlete statements afterwards. It's really been a well-run games.
It really has been incredible watching. So many people have been excited, especially for the points that you raised. Now, a Ukrainian athlete was disqualified from the Winter Olympics over his helmet honoring those who have died in the war. What do you think about the International Olympic Committee's decision that the helmet of remembrance violated its rules prohibiting political statements?
Well, I have a little bit different view. Having been an agent and had the privilege of representing numerous Olympic athletes over the years, the IOC is very, very particular insofar as not just what is said and done in the games, but in the run-up to the games. In sports parlance, we would call this an unforced error, meaning he had every ideation and alert before this that this was a no-go. He hit the rumble strips long before the guardrail, a little on the cliff on the other side. They're very guarded insofar as political commentary, either direct or more subliminal. This was an absolute no-go. If I had been advising him, I would have said to save it for the media pool, the press conference after your competition, put the helmet on the table and say, I'm happy to talk about my performance, but what I really want to talk about is this helmet and what it represents. The people that came behind me, and more importantly, the people that will come after me. To talk about the sacrifice and service that they made. There was a time and a place for it, and he just missed it. And unfortunately, this has become a prevailing headline.
And being a journalist, of course, to be in that room to ask questions, that would have been a really great moment. Right. Now, there's a very unique situation happening. Notre Dame and Villanova received special approval from the NCAA to open their basketball season on November 1st in Rome. Can you share with us more about the preparations, and do you think Pope Leo will attend?
Well, if I were a betting man, I'd say the odds are heavily in favor that he's going to not only have a good seat, but as one of my favorite headlines, I think it was from USA Today, they said the Pope gets a home game. I love this idea and I love the concept, but more than that, I also love the framing because it's going to precede, I think it's set for November 1st, right? So it's going to literally be the lead-in to NFL football. So the viewing audience is tremendous. And what better place? What better place to have two faith-based, traditionally Catholic universities than playing in Rome? And I love, just from a PR standpoint, what the Vatican is doing insofar as altering their messaging, not their word, but their messaging. From the prominent DJ that's gotten so many clicks and so many views across social media to now really having a home court advantage, right, for a game like this. I think it's so smart, and so it's such a way to connect to the younger generation to make sure that if this were a relay race, the baton isn't dropped when we pass it to the younger generation. It's a smart way to connect with them, and I love what they're doing.
Not only the first American Pope, but certainly a lot of new things. Very exciting. We'll continue to watch. Doug Eldridge, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.